Hi. I lost the recording audio, and so you are getting it in the background instead. Hopefully, it'll still show exactly what it is I'm working on. And to be honest, my voice is mostly shot from having just recorded again. And I tried to stream earlier in the day, but I suppose I am still somewhat recovering from being sick. So, this is the best you're getting. But I think that's a good thing, because it gives me a chance to talk about something that I've been waiting to for a little bit. I was thinking about different ways of titling a video like this, like surviving burnout as a Planet Coaster 2 creator, burnout is real, how I might get back into building, maybe like a guide to recovery sort of thing. I don't feel like either of those really fit. I like to refer to this as like hitting a wall, and I don't think burnout is necessarily something that happens once and then you just kind of get over yourself. It's something that happens multiple times in a row with differing intensities. So for instance, if you try to get back into like several projects, you might get some ways down on one and some on another. It could just be something like you have a lot of free time and you notice that across different days, the longer the week goes on for, the less productive you feel like you are in game. That happens to me a lot. But I think the biggest struggle with burnout is the feeling like you've gone an entire day and you didn't really accomplish much. That's what it is for me anyway, and I think it has to do with a work-life balance too. If you play Planet Coaster enough, it can feel like a job, to be honest, and you know, God knows I don't make any money on this, so it's not really a job either way. Regardless, keeping in mind that there is a life to live outside of the game is, I think, really, really important for your mental. I might just be saying this for posterity's sake. Thing is, I also have a life outside of the game, but I don't really have much else to do right now. The world is kind of crazy. There's no real stable solution to getting a home for me and my wife. If I was to, it would eat all of my time and I would be deeply unhappy. And probably have about as much money to my name as I currently do, which is to say not much. I have a feeling a lot of you are around my sort of same age, and if you're not really accomplished or, you know, much the same as I am, you might feel that way. And Planet Coaster is kind of our escape. Something that we need to be very careful of is not treating it as the only escape that we have. I remember other content creators talking about stuff like this, and to me it always kind of felt disconnected. Maybe this is kind of silly as I'm now a content creator, and I'm trying to like give people tips and be as helpful as I possibly can, but real talk, this ain't easy. Making YouTube videos is very fun. It has its place, and it's really hard to find that place when you actually start making something tangible. I did get my first Twitch payout, I think about a few months ago. Right about the time that I had to stop streaming because things got a little hectic as spring came around and I had some actual work roll in. Which was good, by the way. It came at a time that we really needed it. If you don't know, I happen to work in construction, and specifically, I paint houses with my family business. It's not mine to own, but, you know, eventually down the line, if my old man is getting to the position where he does oversight better than he does any of the physical labor, there's a good chance that I might be the one taking on that headship, which is kind of a sobering thought now that I think about it. But, you know, while the times are relatively good for Planet Coaster and I'm enjoying myself enough with it, it can serve as a good enough escape so that I can build cool things and you can learn from some of the stuff that I do. But all the while, sometimes the inspiration needs to hit just the right way. Ideas that you have at certain points in time don't ever stick around the same way that they might from one day to the next. So that's why a lot of people that are in the creative arts industry, I think, like to do things like write down your ideas when you get them and iterate on them later on when you have better ideas. Specifically, songwriters have a habit of doing that. Like when you wake up from a dream or just get up for the day, you might have something in your head that like maybe you don't usually think of. If you don't write that down, you're gonna lose it. Maybe it's a combination of a couple different themes that you weren't thinking of before. Little things like that go a long way for you to have tons of ideas to work from. But by the same token, it can also cause analysis paralysis down the road when you see you have so many ideas and no real drive to see them through to the end. It feels like every Planet Coaster project feels that way. Maybe I'll have some footage played at this point where I'm showing off a project of mine that is incorporating all of the blueprints and failed projects that I've had in the past. Like, I'm trying to recycle all these ideas into something more tangible, and it might actually work out this time. But at some point, you need to just, cut your losses, understand that there is a point in time where it makes sense not to do any more work. It's different for every person because everyone's circumstances are different. I guess what I'm trying to say is there is a point where you could be overly ambitious or too big for your boots. Try not to get yourself in too much trouble, I guess. Everyone can generate ideas, but not everyone can see them through to the end. And it could take somebody else's perspective, who knows? Do you have any friends in real life that you can show pictures of these projects to and see if you can finally get that creative spark? Even if they enjoy the same games as you, there could be a chance that you can get them on board. That would be cool. This is basically just me yapping because the 2-week challenge is taking quite a bit out of me, and if I had known how much it would take out of me and how long I'd be spending away from the projects that I desperately want to work on and have genuine inspiration for and love and passion for, I probably wouldn't have joined. Just being serious here. I don't want to stop halfway through, but I think the quality going forward is going to genuinely be something that I consider less than I normally do, simply because I need to work on my mental, and I'm noticing that I tend to do worse mentally and psychologically when it feels like I'm watching YouTube and Twitch, Slay the Spire, and other some such, more than I am doing any building. And I'm trying to keep the good things in mind, spend time with people I care about, and balance all of that out. But it's tricky, man. Have your head on right. I'm talking into the void, but really I'm just talking to myself. If you feel like you relate with any of this, or have some good advice, maybe for me or others to also appreciate, then feel free to leave a comment. I would love to read it. I know I've talked with other content creators on different platforms before to see, exactly how they all feel about it, or you all, depending on who you are. And everyone has a different answer. I love to see the different perspectives on something like this. And, generally the whole idea is take care of yourself first. Planet Coaster will always be here until it won't. But, there's always a game to occupy your time and free. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Have a good one. That's an order. Follow it, good soldier. I will see you around.